K5HFG, K4BKC. Fine business, Don. Don, you sound very good tonight. Very strong from Mississippi. I'm glad to have you in there. KN4 Mike Echo, Killen, Alabama. K4BKC.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. Great signal down here as always, and I'm copying everyone very nicely. Dan, yes, terrific signal. Particularly good to hear Kevin, KK4GZQ. It's been a long time. And I used to get in the morning sessions years ago, back when my schedule was better for it. And we don't catch Kevin over in the evenings too much. It's really good to hear you. Oh, feedback there. Sorry. And Dr. Ron, it's good to hear that the dendron is coming along. Sorry, this whole thing was not totally intact, but that's the way it came. So just delighted that you're resurrecting it. Not much else here. Beautiful day. Wife and I took a spin in the convertible and went out in the country looking at some property. Just had a good time. Don't know that we're going to do anything about the property, but we had a good time looking. K4BKC in the crew. KN4 Mike Echo.
KN4 Mike Echo. K4BKC. Yeah, it was a good day for riding today. It's cooling off, thankfully. And I think the band's going to improve. It's just still a little early in the evening. W4OB, Ray in Sandy Springs. This is K4BKC.
K4BKC, this is W4OB. Well, a very good evening to you, Bob. You've got a beautiful signal, as always, from Columbia. So the voice of Tennessee, for sure. And Dr. John, you're coming in great from Killen, 20 over on my Mohawk. And I was copying you, Don. Hopefully you can hear me over on Kick Ridge in Mississippi, K5HFG. Good to hear you, Don. And it's actually good to be on the net tonight, Bob, because when I went out into the woods this afternoon, I realized that one of the trees had come down with, I guess, all the rain that we had a couple of weeks ago, and it cut off half of my 73-liter dipole. So I was out there with about 120 feet of extension cord and did some surgery and soldered the ends back together that were severed. So now I think I'm on a full 75-meter dipole, but we'll have to see depending on the copy that everyone's getting. But on the Apache, so let me send it back to you, Bob, and thanks so much for picking me up, and thanks for being such a great pre-net control this evening. K4BKC, this is W4OB.
W4OB, K4BKC. Well, Ray, it's working. Whatever you did, it's you're strong into Columbia tonight, so very good deal. And thank you for being there. K3 Foxtrot Zulu Delta. Larry, go ahead. And I noticed a little bit of hum on your signal that I don't usually hear, but you may already know that. K3 Foxtrot Zulu Delta, K4BKC.
How is the signal strength
tobacco hum?
Well, the hum is still there, Larry. The signal strength is good, and I'm copying you okay. But there's a distinct hum. Let's see. Stan, are you copying Larry? W4KR or K4 or BKC?
Yes, I am, Bob, and I agree with you. There's a lot of hum on the signal. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I won't belabor the point. I just we're proud to have you one way or the other, and I just wanted to let you know. I knew you'd want to know about it. But it's sure good to hear you tonight. Thank you for being there, Larry. KW4TV manual. This is K4 BKC.
Good evening, Bob. K4 BKC. KW4TV. We've had a beautiful day here in the Southeastern Mountains, Florida, and been out enjoying the weather. Cut about 2 acres of grass this morning. All is well, so got some stuff knocked off at honeydew list, so maybe I can start working on a few ham projects around the shack here. So, Bob, that's about what I've got going on. I'm hearing most everybody. The net is up and down, but thank you for checking me in. It's always a pleasure to get in here and hear everybody, my friend. K4BKC, KW4TV, from the tallest mountain in Florida. Back to you, Bob.
Okay, Manuel. Well, you're sounding great, and I'm glad you got all that grass mowed. And that's, I guess your grass grows for much longer than mine does. Ours is beginning to slow down. Yeah, we'll have to continue to cut for another month or so. K4GZQ. Kevin, my goodness, good to hear you from Nonsuch, Kentucky. K4 BKC.
Okay, Bob, real good. K4 BKC with the SAMRC prenet. KK4GZQ. Good evening, huh? Good to be back on here with all of you. Bob, you got a huge signal up here, you and Stan. Hi, Stan. Hello to Dr. John. Dr. John, appreciate the honorable mention. Still getting in on the mornings with the guys here. I'm running the BC 610 here tonight. The old mousetrap. 614 speech amp, D104, and an old R392 receiver. Running an 80-meter loop here at about 55 feet horizontal. And, boy, good signals, John. VZS. Hi, John. HFG, John. Good signal from you. Dr. John was big. Eddie, I heard AMI. Dan, W4CDJ up in Indiana. Good evening, Dan. Great signal down here tonight. The band seems to be getting better and better all the time. I'm anxious to get back in here and get on some round tables and some nets again. W4OB, Ray, good evening to you. Big signal. K3FZD, Larry, good copy. And Stan, good, huge copy on you out of South Carolina, along with Manuel, KO4TV, checking in with you, Bob. So that's all I got. I won't tie it up. Glad to see this fall weather. It's slow getting here, but it's coming. Here it comes back to you, Bob. K4BKC, prenet, KK4GZQ.
KK4GZQ, K4BKC. Well, the mousetrap sounds great as always. I mean, it's just pounding into Columbia, Tennessee. And it's a real pleasure having you on tonight on the Tuesday evening. I hope you can make a habit of it. We'd love to have you. Well, let me take another pause to see if there's anyone else that would like to get in on the prenet for the Tuesday evening Southeastern AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net. Come now with your call.
Hello, Bob. W4G using
KA3IWS.
Well, out of that I got W4GUZ and Alpha Delta 4 Quebec. And I think there was another one in there. Who did I miss in that bunch?
KA3IWS.
Could I ask for a relay on that station? Over.
KA3IWS, Bob.
KA3IWS, is that correct?
USL.
Okay. Thank you, Stan, for that. Let's go back to GUZ, the W4GZ. Brandon, this is K4BKC. Go ahead.
Well, hello, Bob, and everyone else on the net just getting in from work, and I've got a lot of noise, but I think I know what it is. The wife is, we've been raising monarch butterflies, and I think we're up to number 27. She's got some LED lights on the aquariums, and I think that's where the noise is coming from. Anyway, on the 20V2, and I haven't been behind this microphone in a long time. Been at work a lot, but hadn't had any play time behind the mic. So, good evening, and looking forward to the net. But I've got to find this noise. I'm pretty sure I know where it's at. But Bob, you're coming over it, no problem at all. It's getting close to net time, so I'll turn it back to you. Hope everything's well in Columbia. K4BKC in the pre-net, W4GUZ. And hello, Kevin.
W4GUZ, K4BKC. Well, thank you, Brandon. You're sounding outstanding. Alpha Delta 4 Quebec. Dan, go ahead. This is K4BKC. K4BKC. Delta 4 Quebec. Well, I've been on for quite a while. But I'm I guess. Band's a little bit noisy. Not too bad tonight. There's several stations that I'm not hearing. But most everybody else is not visited his, we were in New Orleans, and I drove over to Pensacola and got to meet him on the Mullinet, and that was very enjoyable. So my wife and I, we had lunch over there. So getting to have an eyeball with some of the guys you talk to is always a good thing. So anyway, back to you, Bob, and join this K4BKC and the group AD4Q. 84Q, K4BKC. Well, I know you had a great time in New Orleans and Pensacola. That's fantastic. I'm glad you got to make that trip. Have one more, and then I'll turn it over to Stan. KA3IWS. This is K4BKC. Go ahead.
K4BKC and the pre-net. This is KA3IWS. Well, good evening, Bob, and some of the others on there. Thanks for the relay. You were really loud in here. This is Bob in Lexington, South Carolina. I'm on my T150 and a full wave loop antenna. So we'll just be kind of standing by and we'll listen on down through the net. Appreciate y'all picking me up. K4BKC, KA3IWS.
KA3IWS. Thank you for being there. You came way up that time. I appreciate you being there very much. Stan, it's over to you. Are there any fills that you need on the list? W4KR, K4BKC.
Okay, Bob. K4BKC, W4KR. Thank you, Bob. Thanks for doing the pre-nut tonight. Nope, don't need any fills. We're all set. Copied everybody. Conditions aren't great, but the noise level's not very high. The band's a little bit on the long side. Manual was really rocking and rolling in here, as was John up in Indiana. Congrats, John. Want to talk to you some more about Don? Want to talk to you some more about that afterward? Maybe you're on the phone. We'll see. Anyway, this is W4KR. My name is Stan. I'm located in the northwest corner of South Carolina, and this is the Southeastern AM Radio Club Weekly Net that meets here on 3885 at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Sometime later in the fall, we'll switch back to 6 o'clock, which is our normal winter time, but not quite yet. As I said before, we operate every Tuesday night here, beginning at 7 o'clock. Prenet begins at 6:30. With our prenet operator, normally it's Alan N4OZI, but Alan was called away this evening. He had another commitment that he had to deal with regarding one of the local Atlanta area radio clubs, Nafarfel, and tonight with Bob was kind enough to step in for Alan and did a great job. Purpose of this net is to provide a forum for buying and selling and trading of vintage AM gear and components, and we do quite a bit of that. As we gather to foster fellowship between members and visitors, we urge you to visit our website at w4ami.org. Dr. Ron Johnson, WB4GWA, has done and is doing just an outstanding job on that on our website. It's really growing into something special, and for those of you who aren't familiar with the net or with some of the people or the organization, we encourage you to take a look at take a good look at the website. There are a lot of pieces to it. Again, that's w4ami.org. Going to start this evening with the transmissions from our club officers. I'm going to begin with our president, Bob, K4BKC. We finish the officers, then we'll take a standby, and as the net proceeds on, we'll take periodic standbys for latecomers. To you, Bob, and good evening. K4BKC. This is W4AMI. Go ahead.
Well, W4AMI, K4BKC. Well, good evening, Stan. Good evening to everyone on the net. Well, I would first like to thank everyone for taking the time to stop in and check in with us this afternoon. It means a lot to us to have this group gather on Tuesday evening, and we certainly wouldn't have that without you. I'd like to ask you to continue to keep in your thoughts and prayers our friend Ben, W4CT, and he goes through this treatment. And I'd like to hear a report on the Hamfest down in Florida that happened recently. If there's anybody that can give us a report on that, that'd be great. on the 20V2 tonight and listening on the R390, and everybody is just sounding great. Good evening for AM. Back to you, Stan. Thank you for doing the net. I feel like I've had plenty of mic time tonight. Appreciate you picking me up. W4 AMI, W4 BKC.
Okay, Bob, and let me say I did a quick poll here during your transmission, and you have been reappointed alternate control. So and pre-net. So welcome back if you ever went anywhere. Don't think you did. Forgot to mention one thing before I turn it over to our treasurer. The other thing I wanted to mention, and especially to our newer friends, Southeastern AM Radio Club is an organization made up of 290 members, and we've been around here since about 1989. So it's been running for a week or two anyway, and we're proud that it continues to grow, and every week the list gets a little longer. We've got 17 folks in already tonight, and that's a big number for summertime. Okay, next on the list is our treasurer, KA4 AMI, Eddie Brown. How you doing tonight? Go ahead.
Okay, well, we started out pretty good, and I believe I got a screen resistor go bad on the Ranger over there. It happened to me a couple months ago. I believe it's got the same symptoms, so that's the reason Bob couldn't hear me, because it wasn't going through the amp and just wasn't putting any power in. I'm surprised he heard me at all. Anyway, we switched over here to the DX60, and it seems to be performing as normal anyway. But it's good to hear everybody, and let's see. During the pre-net, Mac mentioned getting the gates on. I'm still working on the audio on that. I've got some noise in it, so let me get that cleared up, and we'll have dueling gates one night. But I'm pretty sure Mac will win. I run mine on low power, and it just don't have the antenna capabilities to run anything much over 250 watts. So anyway, but I'll be happy to do it and enjoy doing it. I just hadn't got it cleared up yet. Anyway, let's see. I talked to Perry yesterday at length, and he and his family, they're still dealing with the loss of Will, so I want to keep them in their thoughts and prayers, and it's just going to take a while. And he said he would be back, and he was glad that we were thinking about him, and I think it made him feel good. So anyway, Stan, that's about it from here. Other than tell everybody to check that website and keep an eye on it, because there's a lot of changes and a lot of good things on there. So w4ami.org. And back to you, Stan. Good job. Thank you, Bob, for getting in there. Oh, it's good to hear Kevin and Brandon tonight. They're coming in real good from up north of us here. So that's it for here. 7-3s for now from Williamson, Georgia. W4AMI. This is KA4AMI.
Okay, Eddie, thank you, and Eddie, thank you for sharing the comments about Perry. We certainly are thinking about he and the family over there, and glad to know that they're coming around a little bit. Shall see. Hope to see him back on here pretty quick. Next up. Eddie, yeah, by the way, Eddie copied you earlier, copied you fine. It was, you were chugging along okay. And the DX60 sounds good tonight. Next up is our Vice President over in way west in Alabama. KF4TXQ. Sam, how you doing tonight? W4AMI, over.
Doing fine, Stan. Good to hear you. Let me cut this thing down. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, this is KF4TXQ, Gainesville, Alabama. We're in central East Alabama, and about 50 miles north of Montgomery, if you want to place us in your mind on the map. So there you go. And boy, the propagation's been peekaboo sort of tonight. It rises and falls and does as it pleases. But anyway, you know, what else is new? But I'm glad to see the hint of fall coming back into the temperatures and the way the weather's doing now. So I'm happy about that. Okay. Well, we're rocking along here, doing pretty well. I got my A13 zone, and I'm excited with the ICOM 7300, but I'm going to be excited with a DX60 like Eddie Brown before long, and I ought to get it in a week or so. I've got to do some modifications to it, but you know what else is new? You got to get it like you want it and do it like it needs to be. So anyway, thanks a lot for calling the net, and Bob, you did a great job with the preamp as always, and you sounded great on the 20V. And back to you, Stan. You're sounding good tonight, and as the evening goes on, your signal is getting better. So appreciate it. W4AMI and Joan and Wahoo. This is KF4TXQ.
Okay, Sam. This is W4AMI in the Southeastern AM Radio Club Tuesday night meeting. Sam, the producer, is in the shack down here tonight, giving directions, and she smiled and said, "Say hello to Sam." So hello, Sam. You can yell across the room and say it yourself, darling. Okay. Next up is our Sam. You were 20 over 9, so yep. Band's coming around pretty well here. Next up is our trustee and Webmaster Supreme, WB4GWA. Ron, good evening, sir. How are you? W4AMI. Go ahead.
W4AMI, WB4GWA. I'm doing very well, Stan, and good evening, Joan. Good to hear you're looking over his shoulder there, keeping everything in line. Everybody sounds good tonight. I'm like Sam, it's up and down and peekaboo and all that kind of stuff, but it sounds good. Kevin, it sure is good to hear you from none such Kentucky. I would be curious, and Sam, you might correct me on this, and Kevin, you certainly can, but the mousetrap, I think, is a famous transmitter. I think once upon a time Sam may have owned it, and then I think once upon a time Wayne Banks owned it, and then Charlie owned it, and I guess you've got it now if it's the same one. So that one has been around. It's just the same one I'm thinking about. But anyway, it sounds good in here in Concord, Georgia, for sure. And Brandon, you really sound good. Those monarch butterflies out there are going to be beautiful, and you've always got a great signal here in our area. Very good quality on everything. And good evening to WH3IWS, I think it is, over in Lexington. The T150 did a great job a while ago when you came in here. I heard you really loud and strong, so very good signal. Good signal from everybody tonight that I'm hearing, as long as the band cooperates. And Stan, appreciate all you're doing tonight to call the net. So, back over to you, W4AMI from WB4GWA in Concord.
Okay, Ron, thank you. Hey, good signal. You too are hitting the 20 over 9 mark over here. Okay, we've come through our officers that tell us pretty much what's going on as far as the club is concerned. So I'm going to, at this point, take our first standby of the evening. Anyone has anything to buy, sell, or swap, or would want to join the net, come on in right now. This is W4AMI. Over.
W4OLJ.
W4MA.
Okay, I recognize some, and I know I missed one. W4OLJ. Virgil, good evening to you. W4MA. Bill, good evening to you, sir. And W9TAB, good evening. I believe I missed somebody. Who was that? Go ahead.
is Whiskey 4, Whiskey Foxtrot Lima.
Okay, W4WFL, got it. Anybody else?
WA4II.
Okay, Greg, WA4II, good evening to you. Anyone else? No, okay, we'll take another standby in about 15 minutes or so. And we'll move on down the list. Next up is down Pensacola way, K4VZS. John, how are you tonight? Go ahead.
W4AMI, K4VZS. Doing pretty good, Stan. For an old man, but I'm on the shaft for a change. Trying to get everything to work here, but I cut my antenna on the inside rig with head trimmers yesterday. I guess I'll be out in the morning putting new coax over. But I'm a Johnson pipeline listening on HRO50. And his organ is really good tonight. I'm really tickled. I don't know if I just jumped frequency or not. No, I guess I'm all right. But anyway, enjoying the net. Appreciate you taking it. W4AMI, K4VZS.
Yeah, okay, John. No, it did not. You did not jump a cycle. You're right. You didn't go anywhere. But geez, you're just about 20 over 9 up here as well. So the band indeed is coming around. Good signal coming out of the Johnson 500 tonight. Next up is W4AX. Mac, how are you tonight? Over.
All right. Thanks so much, Stan. W4AX. W4AMI, W4AX, and. Stan, I pushed up the brilliance a little bit. I'm not sure I got the right setting. There's more than 100 settings on this speech processor, and the manual's 166 pages, but if I didn't get the right one, I'll try it again. Bob, thanks so much for running the pre-net, and thanks for the phone call. And Eddie, I run a Variac on my gate so that I can maintain legal amateur limits, so I'm running 375 watts right now. And Ron, I sent you an email with the lights for your Dentron so that you can order those. And Larry, I think you have an open ground on your microphone, so you might be able to re-secure your microphone connection or re-solder your microphone connection. All right. For sale tonight, I have a CBS Laboratories Automax and Volumax combination. These are the combination that were used in the 60s and 70s on all AM radio stations. So if you want that sound, I have that set up for you, and I'll sell them for exactly what I've got in them, $850. And I can bring them to the Stone Mountain Ham Fest. I can mail them. You can come get them. I'll meet you halfway. Or I'll bring them to the Crestview Ham Fest in 3 weeks, which I hope to see some of my Florida friends there. Tonight I'm on the Gates BC1T, running legal limit, and listening on a 75A4 and using an Orban Optimod, which is the current speech processing system used in most AM and FM stations today. Thanks so much, Stan, and thanks for running the net. W4AMI, W4AX.
Okay, Mac. Thank you for coming aboard tonight. Mac has a CBS Labs Volumax and Audiomax for sale that he will part company with, and that was good stuff. Good stuff in the 70s, good stuff today still. Next up is Dan, W4CDJ up in Indiana, and Dan, let's hear some more of that new rig. What I heard sounded pretty doggone good. W4CDJ, this W4AMI. Go ahead.
W4AMI and the net. W4CDJ. Well, good evening, Stan. Hearing most everybody. And so far, conditions continue to improve here. And like I said earlier, this is one of Borgie's creations here. And this is the first time it's been on the air on this frequency. I think he was here last Monday, a week ago. Set the thing up. I've used it a couple times on 40 meters, but trying it out tonight. Hope it sounds okay. Other than that, fall's here or on its way shortly. Looking forward to spending a little more time in the shack this fall and winter. Finished a lot of projects here around the house this summer. Sin and I installed new cedar deck boards on the dock out over the pond. It's about, I think it's 12 foot wide and 30 feet long, so had to tear the old boards up first. I think that was harder than putting the new ones down, but other than that, it's all good here in Indiana. Thanks for picking me up, Stan. Do appreciate it. W4AMI on the net. W4CDJ, Dan in Southeastern Indiana. Had to get the Southeastern in there. Have a good evening.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Welcome. Glad to hear you, and good luck with that. Good luck with that new transmitting box. Sounds good. I forgot to mention previously, Mac rather. Excuse me. You pushed it up just a little bit, and that sounded a little better. At least in these old ears it did. Let's see. Next up is Don, K5HFG, W4AMI, and the Southeastern AM Radio Club.
W4AMI, K5HFG. Stan, you're sounding good. The smoothed out somewhat. Everybody sounded better than they did at check-in time. So I think we got it covered. Thanks for letting me come in, and I've got not much to report on. It was a nice day again. Mississippi is starting to we're in the mid-80s during the day now, and really good. So I think we're on the way. I noticed the sun's down to the equator almost. Tomorrow's my birthday, in case you were thinking about sending me a card. Hey, everybody. Stan, doing a good job. Thank you and Bob.
Yeah, okay, Don. Thank you. Good to have you tonight. Good signal. Wow. Ray, your transmission. How are things in Sandy Springs tonight? W4OB, this W4AMI.
W4AMI, this is W4OB. Well, doing great, Stan, and a very good evening to all the great signals, all the great stations on the net tonight, all those great amateurs. And, Stan, it's been, over the last 2 weeks, one of the best, I think the best eye doctor in Atlanta put new lenses in each eye, and now I have 20/20 vision, and boy, what a difference. When I was working on some of these electronics, especially when I had those old clouded, hard, couldn't focus, you name it, and now it's perfect clarity. So I'm really excited about the possibilities. So, a very good evening to everyone. I wanted to say a special hello to Kevin, KK4GZQ on the BC610 mousetrap. Kevin, you're sounding great. And I wonder if the history of the mousetrap had anything to do with Agatha, the great mystery writer, Agatha Christie. She wrote a novel, Three Blind Mice, which is really outstanding. But I think that was the basis for the long-running play, The Mousetrap, in London. I think it's been playing for 60 or 70 years, something like that. So maybe you've got an Agatha Christie amateur radio. I'm not sure, Kevin, but it sounds great. Well, let me send it back to you, Stan, and thanks so much for being the net controller this evening. And hope you and your wife are doing Walhalla. So W4AMI, this is W4OB evening.
Contact.
Go ahead, Sam.
I've got some footnotes about the evolution of the name Mousetrap. I had that in my shack, and I was talking to Info of VMY, Mr. Bill Decker, up in Kentucky, Litchfield, I think it was, and we were just having a nice QSO, and all of a sudden I heard this, and then the breaker popped on the front of the BC610, and I said, uh-oh, that's about all he heard, and you know, when he came back on, he said, uh-oh is not a good word to say on ham radio, especially on AM. So anyway, but a mouse had gotten in there and gotten right across the B plus line on that BC610 and gave his own for amateur radio. But anyway, that's the story of the Mousetrap. That's how it got its name. So back to you, Stan. Thank you very much. I just thought I'd bring that up and just trivia. This is KF4TXQ, back to W4AMI.
Okay, Sam, and thank you. Thank you for passing that along, Sam. Good to know that. It's well traveled. Well traveled. Thank you much. Okay, next up is Dr. John, KN4ME. Go ahead.
W4AMI, KN4 Mike Echo. Thanks, Stan. I am copying everyone here. I have not missed a word. Most everybody has got the receiver quietened down, and just a very pleasant experience to hear all these good AM signals tonight. I wanted to shout out a big happy birthday to Don K5HFG, and your full quieting here sounded great. I may be mistaken, and we'll let Kevin clarify this, but somehow I was thinking that that particular mousetrap, and maybe there are more than one, came from Liz, W4 or K4GHT. She is certainly missed. She was a wonderful participant here for many years. She, if I'm not mistaken, that was associated with that mousetrap that went to Kevin, but he can fill you in on that. Not much else here. It's just good to hear everybody. Back to you, Stan. Doing a great job. W4KR. I'm sorry? W4AMI, KN4ME.
That is the same mousetrap. Over.
Okay, Dr. John. Thank you, and thank you, Sam. Yep, it was a much traveled box, but sounds like it looks and sounds like it's got a permanent home now over in Unsuch. Yeah, good. Thank you, Dr. John. Thanks for joining us tonight. This is the Southeastern AM Radio Club Tuesday Swap and Fellowship Net that meets every Tuesday night right here at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, and we run for about an hour or more or less. Not very much more, about an hour. We usually wrap it up. We're about halfway down the list at this time. We'll take one more. I'll take two more transmissions, and then we'll have another brief timeout for stations wishing to join. Next up is Larry, K3FZD. How are you tonight, Larry? W4AMI. Did you turn it back, or did it shut itself off?
I don't know. It's another power supply sitting there that radio. I turned it off. Very quiet. So I don't know. It's off now. Are you still hearing the hello?
No, yeah, it has an awful lot of hum in it. In fact, the hum's louder than the hum is modulating it more heavily than you are, Larry. I'm sure you'll find it. You'll find it as you poke around there with it. Thanks for joining us tonight. Next up is Manuel, KW4 TV, way down Florida way. W4AMI in the net.
KW4AMI, KW4 TV. Thank you, Stan. You're doing a great job. You always catch me napping. You got my attention. But thank you for doing the net, and Bob kind of stirring up the early stuff. Appreciate him, and you guys do a great job for the W4AMI. And let me shout out happy birthday to K5HFU Don. He didn't tell us how old he was, but that's okay too. But we've had a beautiful day here today, and just been enjoying every minute of it. Hope we have a lot more of these days in a row. I could stand them. And got some yard work, grass cut, and a lot of honeydews done. So there you go, Stan. Again, thank you for what you do, and I'll turn it back to you. W4AMI, KW4 TV.
All right, Manuel. Hey, wow. Good. Signal's holding up. So band conditions are fairly stable. A little bit of QSB on the end close ones, but you all out a few hundred miles, they're holding up really well. Good to hear you tonight, Manuel, and thank you. This is the Southeastern AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net, and we're going to take a standby right now, and right after the standby, we're going to hear about the Mousetrap Radio. Anybody care to join? Come on in right now.
This is Kilo 4 Hotel Uniform Mike, K4HUM. W4I.
Okay. We heard WA4 or K4HUM, and then a friend down Florida way, W4IDD. Anybody else? The hotel station, come again, please. Bob, could you help with that?
I didn't get it good enough.
Whiskey Alpha 2. Whiskey Victor Hotel, I believe.
What was the first part?
I think it's Whiskey Alpha 2.
Now we got it. Thank you. WA2 Mike Victor Hotel. Good evening to you, sir. Little bit of static was building up right then and caught you. Anybody else? W4AMI. Okay, hearing no more. Okay, here we go.
W4 PBS.
I said it was going to be Kevin's turn, and it is Kevin's turn. KK4GZQ. W4AMI. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Stan, before I get it, pick up Papa Bravo Sierra. He was doubling with you trying to check in. Over.
Okay, Papa Bravo Sierra. What's your prefix, please?
Roger. Whiskey 4, Papa Bravo Sierra, Jason here in Virginia.
Okay, Jason, good evening to you and welcome. Sorry I didn't get you sooner. Go ahead, Kevin, and thanks for the lift.
Okay, real good, Stan. Excuse me, W4AMI with the net, KK4GZQ, and good evening to all the newcomers that weren't on the pre-net. I heard Brandon check in. Good evening, Brandon. I'm looking at your setup right now with the back in the back. I've got my eyeball on that Optimod. Boy, that's a nice piece. Bunch of nice stuff there. Cool looking setup. And boy, you got a nice signal up here tonight. Hello to Bob, KA3IWS with on the T150. Good signal from Lexington, South Carolina. I managed to get to copy Alpha Delta 4 Quebec. And also Ron, WB4GWA down Georgia. Good evening to you, Ron. And a few others here, Stan, but I'm getting some messages. I've got a vehicle for sale. I'm giving up my old rusty, trusty Toyota truck, my 94 that I've had for years. It's just extra now, and it's eating more than it's worth it, I guess. It's just time to move it. So I'm getting some responses to it, and I believe I sold it here as I checked into the net here. I did some back and forth with a guy here, and we're going to meet tomorrow morning here. So I'm wheeling and dealing and checking into the net at the same time. I want to make sure to wish Don, K5HSG, a happy birthday. And Don, I heard you talking about the Agatha Christie era radio. I believe that's what you were talking about. But, originally, I got it from Liz, and I believe it had been down south, maybe to Wayne. Somebody had mentioned Wayne's name, and, of course, Charlie and Sam. And good evening to you, Sam, KF4TXQ. Good signal up here tonight. And I got it from Liz, and after she passed, it was offered to me, and I made sure to try to see what I could do to get it here in fond memory of K4GHT, Silent Key. We certainly miss Liz to pieces, all of us do, and I know I'll speak for all of us. So with that, I want to thank you, Bob, for the pre-net, and Stan, you for the net. Both of you do a great job. And to all you AMers out there, have a great evening. I'm going to go ahead and sign out. I appreciate all of you being there, but I am going to listen here for a while. W4KR, W4AMI, Stan, take it back, and thanks for letting me have a transmit here. 7-3, everybody.
Evening, Kevin.
Okay, Kevin. Thank you for joining us tonight, Kevin. Good luck selling the Toyota, and wish you well with it. And again, thanks, and come on back next week. We'll be here. Sam will be net control next week, so you can have it him for a bit. Next up is W4GZQ. Brandon, how you doing tonight?
Hello, Stan. Good evening to everyone on the net, all the shortwave listeners out there. I'm sure there's more listening than transmitting, but Virgil, of course, Ray, Dr. John, Roy, Kevin, good to hear you on the mousetrap, and don't sell that Toyota too quick. I put a 97 online for sale and sold it in about 5 minutes and realized I sold it way too cheap. Those things, even if the frame's rusted in two, they're worth more than you think, so I'd hold off. Raise the price a little bit. Dan, Ron, Manuel, Sam, conditions are great tonight, despite the solar storm or whatever's going on. Anywho, Brandon, W4GUZ, I'm in the little community of Hawk, North Carolina, and over the past 2 decades I've figured out why they call it that. You don't leave little dogs or small animals or chickens outside, or they won't be there the next morning. Anyway, we're sandwiched between Mount Mitchell and Rome Mountain, Tennessee. Hadn't been behind the microphone much here lately. I think this is about the 3rd or 4th time in a month, but I did get to attend Shelby for one day. Had some great fellowship with a lot of the local AMers. Still got a back that's hurting, bulging disc and arthritis and bone spurs and all that good stuff that comes with old age, even though I'm almost 45 years old. Anyway, the wife helped me. She done all the work. She loaded the truck full of boat anchors, and I sold everything on Friday except one receiver, and believe it or not, I didn't sell but 1 quart of honey. Of course, I had some competition, but a good year for honey here in this part of North Carolina. I had right at 6 gallons off of 3 hives, and sold every bit of it, and only left myself with a half a gallon. So that should pay for the bee supplies for 2024. I went to Shelby. sold a lot. I bought nothing but an entry ticket and a hamburger and a lemonade. That's the first Hamfest in decades that I come home empty-handed, but felt like something was missing until I got home, and then I was happy about it. But Bob, thank you for the pre-net, what little bit I heard of it, and Stan, both of you, thank you for what you do, and the whole entire club. On the 20V2 tonight, listening on a HRO5, which is one of my most favorite receivers for AM. It stays right here on 3885 for the most part, but it sounding quite nice here. Good conditions considering. Definitely fall is in the air. The smell of leaves falling, and one of my, well, I guess it's my most favorite time of the year, but winter, Jack Frost is right around the corner, and I dread it. And it's been a while since we've had a bad or a good winter for those that like cold weather. But I think we're ready for it. The propane tank's full, and the wood shed's about 3/4 of the way full. W4AMI, W4GUZ.
Okay.
Here in Halt.
Sounds like you're getting geared up.
73
Thank you for joining us tonight, Brandon. It's always good to hear you. Next up is Dave over in AD4Q, your transmission, W4AMI. AD4Q, are you with us?
Okay, I had a static crash there. W4AMI and the net, this is Alpha Delta 4 Quebec. You gave my call a little bit of noise. Most everybody tonight is sounding pretty good. This is Dave, and I live in Millington, Tennessee. We're just south of Millington, north of Memphis. Got some Viking 2 CDC and receiving on an R398 inverted V and a D104. So that's what we got. We had a good weekend last weekend. We got to go down to New Orleans and got to drive over to Pensacola and had lunch with John, K4VZS, and Roy, W4IDD, and several others of the guys in Pensacola. John even gave me a tour of his, my wife and I both, a tour of his museum of amateur radio. We had a great time. So it's good to get to see some of the guys face to face. And anyway, that was our weekend. And happy birthday to my neighbor just down the road here in Oxford, Don, K5HFG. Happy birthday. And 73 to everybody. And Stan, thanks for doing the net job for the pre-net. W4AMI. And the group. Alpha 4 Quebec, 73.
Okay, Dave, thank you. AD4Q, thank you for joining us tonight. Appreciate your coming aboard. Always do. Let's see here. Yeah, I forgot to say happy birthday to Don earlier, and shame on me. Notice, Don, I didn't ask how many. We'll just let that go. Next up is Bob in Lexington, South Carolina, down the road a piece here. KA3IWS, your transmission. This is W4AMI and the Southeastern AM Radio Club.
Yeah, W4AMI and the group. This is KA3IWS. Name is Bob, and we're in Lexington, South Carolina. I got my T150 and a full wave loop antenna. Some really good signals on there this evening, and good to hear you as always, Kevin, and Dan up there, DDJ. Good to hear you, and boy, and you're loud in here too, Stan. It's a really good copy here. Band's just kind of up and down, but I sure do enjoy it. So back up to you, Stan. W4AMI from KA3IWS.
Yeah, okay. I think this is the beginning. It's the beginning of fall season, and things are getting better week by week. Thanks for joining us, Bob. Next station up is Virgil, W4OLJ. How are you tonight, my friend? This is W4AMI.
W4AMI and Annette, this is W4OLJ. Okay, Stan. Well, we're doing fine over here. Been a beautiful day here in the valley today. Nice and cool and bright and sunshiny. Couldn't ask for more. Boy, the signals are great. I'm just copying everybody just fine. And before I forget it, happy birthday to you out there, Don. And hope you have many, many more. Yeah, the signals are just outstanding. Brandon over there in Hawk, he's just blowing me out, and beautiful audio. And Bob, he's right up there too. Just lots of them. And Mac, he's coming in great. And you too, Stan. You're just blowing me out over here. But anyway, there's just so many great signals on there, and all of them are good. I'm not have much trouble with anybody. It's just a great night. So that's about all we got. Not much going on here. I got out today and run a few errands and done a few little things, but kind of quiet over here in the valley. So 73s to everybody. It's good to hear all. W4AMI, this is W4OLJ in Sweetwater.
Okay, Virgil, I was watching the S meter, and you're cracking the 35 mark, so you can tell fall's coming. And thanks for being here. Always good to hear that signal coming out of Sweetwater. Next up is Bill, W4MA, and Bill, what in the world happened to your QRZ page? W4AMI, over.
At W4AMI from W4MA. Good evening, Stan. Thanks for doing the net, and thanks to the SAMRC officers. Good evening to all the members and the check-ins. Good to hear everyone. Some good signals. Stan, you got a wonderful signal in here tonight. Quickly, my QRZ page was compromised somehow. I'm not one to keep passwords on the computer, but somehow some culprit got me somehow. But anyway, that is straightened out now, hopefully. Hope that did not cause anyone any problem, although one fellow on the air I know did cause some confusion, and we got that straightened out. Nothing to buy, sell, or swap here. Got everything pretty much like I wish. Let's see. By the way, the name here is Bill. I'm in North Georgia. I'm between LJ and Dahlonega, kind of like the guy up in North Carolina, out in the middle of no place. And yeah, you just don't go out at night without looking around and let your pets out at night, that's for sure. Weather is great, has been great today, taking advantage of it, doing some yard work, no grass to cut. Mulch is spread from trees being cut and chipped up and so forth. Have a garden that is kind of coming to an end for the season, but the green peppers and the hot peppers are abundant right now, so we're still enjoying those. Anyway, life is good. Thank you, Stan, again. W4AMI. This is Whiskey 4 Mike Alpha. Good evening.
Good evening, Bill. This is Sam.
Good evening, Sam.
Okay, Bill, thank you. Yeah, I was talking with Sherman on the phone, and he mentioned it, and I brought it up, and my goodness. Well, glad you got it squared away. There was a strange thing going on the early part of last week. Some QTH stuff had gotten compromised as well. So somebody was having they thought having a good time. Anyway, this is the Southeastern AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net, W4AMI, your net control for tonight. The next station up is W9TAB. Go ahead, sir.
transmitter with the 3584 receiver and V104 running stock right now. Everybody sounds good. Here's what you expect. We're really looking forward to it. And Don, and happy birthday, buddy, and many more to you. We're happy to see you here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. Signal from way down Florida way. Next up's W4 WFL. Your transmission, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is W4 in Pensacola also, and I have I repaired a Hammerland DQ100, and I thought it was a parts radio, but I ended up fixing it, and it's really complicated, except that there's no cabinet for it. And I was wondering if somebody might have an old parts radio or that would fit that DQ 100. I'd sure like to get a cabinet. If I don't find one, I might have to go to my favorite sheet metal shop and see if they'll make me one, but I'd sure like to get one that comes with it. So anyway, if anybody knows of anything, let me know. I don't need to buy the whole radio. If you want to keep the radio and there's a cabinet, I'll be glad to just get the cabinet, or I'll be glad to buy the whole thing. So if somebody could let me know something, I sure would appreciate it. I'm good on NQRZ and for the net for tonight. So I'll say 73 to everybody, and this is Whiskey 4, Whiskey Foxtrot Lima in Pensacola.
Yeah, did you say that was for an HQ100?
Yeah, it's for the 100. I think it's an HQ. I think that's the popular one that Hammerland made.
Yeah, okay. Yep. Before WFL is looking for a cabinet for an HQ100. We'll buy the whole receiver if he has to. Anyway, good luck finding it. That'll be a find. That was a long time ago. Next up is WA4III. Greg, how are you tonight? Go ahead.
W4 AMI, I think that's right. This is W4III. Made a good day today, and I spent the whole evening in the doctor's office and got a good report. I'm going to have to do some maintenance on my A1C. It's a little bit high, but way he talked, I'm going to live till next year. I made an appointment for a year from today, so I guess that's a good report. And as I said, it's been a good day today. And thank you for picking me up and doing a good job there. W4 AMI. This is WA4. I think I've got that right.
Okay. Thank you, Greg. Hey, congratulations on the good doctor's report. Glad to hear it. Yeah, A1C can bounce up and down a little bit. Don't worry about it too much. Just don't let it get too high. Okay, next up is Lenny, WK4HUM, and then we're going to take a standby. Lenny, how are you tonight? Over.
Hey, good evening, Stan and the group. This is K4HUM with the W4AMI. Hang up there. Everybody's really sounding good. I'm really looking forward to this little cooler weather and definitely some great signals and encouraging weather. A little bit wet around here, but that's all good. Kind of need it. We'll see what that's a little bit hot. Anyway, thanks for doing the net there, Stan, and we'll try and be in here Thursday, Lord willing. And I guess that's all I have to say. 73 tall, K4HUM, back to WA4AMI.
Okay, Lenny. Thank you, sir. Welcome. Going to take a standby, and after the standby, we're going to hear from Roy, W4IDD. This is the Southeastern AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net for Tuesday night. Any latecomers, call now.
K4HIL.
Okay, picked up K4HIL. Anyone else? Okay, didn't hear anybody. HIL, good evening to you, sir. Next up is, as I said a minute ago, is our friend Roy down in Pensacola. W4I diddle diddle. Go ahead, Roy.
All right. Thank you, Stan. Good evening to you and everybody on the net this evening. Man, we got a crowd, the big net going, and it's great. Real great. Well, it's good to be here. Miss Minnie Pearl used to say on the Grand Highway, she'd come out there on stage and say, "Howdy, I'm just proud to be here." And I really am, Stan. It's good to be alive this evening and enjoying ham radio at its finest. Well, let's see. I'm on Miss Daisy May this evening, a BMW 5100, a B model, and the B stands for beautiful. So there you go. An MC300 receiver and a pair of 813s and a BMW amplifier. Talking on the D104 microphone. So there's the setup here. I ain't got anything for the net. Stan just wanted to get in and be a part of the program. Everybody have a great week. Behave yourself. Be careful. And 73 all around. And I'll close, Stan, with this little statement. I hope everybody out there in Radio Land feels as good as I look this evening. Stan, back to you. Great job from W4I Diddle Pensacola.
All right, Roy, and thank you. Appreciate your sticking around and coming in tonight, Roy. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, sir. Next up is Dave, WA2 Mike Victor Hotel down Florida way. How are you tonight, W4AMI? Go ahead.
Oh, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good evening and take care. Come on back next week. Next up is Jason, W4 PBS, your transmission. Go ahead.
W4 AMI. For Papa Bravo Sierra, Jason here in Central Virginia. I think it's my first time checking in on the net. I usually don't check in on net so much, but heard you guys on here and everybody sounded real good, and figured we'd give it a shot. We've been we've been at home the last few days with back problems, and I'm not liking it too much. But anyhow, other than that, we're running a ICOM 7300 into a AL80A and do a full-size 80-meter dipole up about 60 or 75 feet, somewhere in there. But we just wanted to check in and say hello to everybody. Everybody's sounding great this evening. Most everybody's 10 to 25 over S9, and just wanted to jump in here and say hello. So we'll turn it back to you. I believe it's Stan, and this is W4PBS back to net 73s, everybody.
Okay, Jason, welcome to the net. I sense you're in the Lynchburg area. Nice, beautiful part of the state of Virginia. We almost lived north of you about 60 miles, but didn't happen. It's about 15 years ago we were looking up there. Anyway, come on back next Tuesday, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Last station on the list is coming up in a second, and after that we'll take a final standby before we shut down to the net for the night. K4HIL, your transmission. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Well, I haven't never been on this one, I don't think. I figured I'd see if y'all could hear me. I'm in Middle Tennessee, Old Hickory, Tennessee to be exact, home of Andrew Jackson. I'm talking on a Flex 5000 into a W2IHY PR40 microphone running a 87A alpha amplifier. So just over here cruising. Heard y'all in here, just wanted to check in. Don't have nothing for the net.
Yeah, okay, Todd. Well, glad you did. As I said a minute ago, we're here every Tuesday night, and I'll be wrapping it up here in a couple of minutes. We'll take another standby here pretty quick, but you're always welcome. So far, we've had 27 check-ins tonight. Good crowd. Anybody else before we shut down? This is W4AMI.
Whiskey 4, Yankee Tango Oscar.
W4 Whiskey Tango Oscar, is that right?
Whiskey 4, Yankee Tango Oscar. That's Yankee Tango Oscar.
W4YTO. Now I got it. Now that sounds more familiar. Come on in, make a transmission. How you doing tonight?
No, I'm doing pretty good. I just got in from work, so well, a little late for the net, and I'm probably trying to get in here for the late. So I hope I'm making the trip okay. I don't have anything real special. I've got an IC766 Pro 2 I'm on tonight into an inverted V. I'm going to say about 50 watts there. So you can tell me if I'm making it okay or what it's like. But I really enjoy listening to y'all radio and that, and not me and Whiskey 4, Yankee Tango Oscar, back to me.
Okay, W4YTO, my goodness, for that power, you're doing great. Good signal here in the northwest corner of South Carolina. I'm located about 50 miles west of Greenville, South Carolina, and right close to the North Carolina and Georgia borders. Just a river, just a few miles east of me or west of me rather, and that's the dividing line between those three states. Okay, this is W4AMI. Final standby. Anybody else?
Kilo November 4, Hotel.
KN4HH. Now that call sounds familiar. That call sounds real familiar. How you doing tonight, Bob? Go ahead.
Real good, Stan. Sorry I'm late, but I wanted to at least get in and say hi to you. It sure was good to talk to you the other day, and good to see you a while back. So just wanted to give you another number, Bob, in Woodstock, Georgia, and you've got a beautiful signal tonight. We're giving you about 200 watts into a very short, long wire antenna, Stan. W4AS. I'll get it right in a minute. WX4AM, KN4HH.
Yeah, Bob, you have your own antenna up now, is that right?
Well, kind of, sort of. I graduated from the gutter to about a 50-foot piece of wire up in the tree.
Well, okay. You're gaining on it. It sounds good. It sounds good over here. Good signal from Woodstock. You're almost the way Ellen normally is. But welcome. Glad to hear you. Let me take you. Okay, I took a standby. We added one. Is there one more out there? W4 AMI. Nope, don't hear anybody. So we'll wrap it at that point. Bob, good to hear you. As I said, good to hear. Look forward to seeing you again. Probably see you down at Stone Mountain coming up. Geez, we're 1st of October. That thing. Geez, that's about 6 weeks away. Wow, Bob. Eesh. Yeah, got to start thinking about that, guys. We ought to have a pretty good turnout at Lawrenceville for the Stone Mountain Ham Fest. Good location, great facility. Anyway, this is W4AMI, Southeastern AM Radio Club, Swap and Fellowship Net for this past Tuesday night, or this Tuesday night. Next week, Sam will be here as your net control. I believe, I think that Kevin will be back. WA4AM who will do the pre-net. And remember that come Thursday night, the Mullets will be right here. I think they start right about 7 o'clock Eastern time as we do. Take care, everybody. Good night, and thank you so much. Special shout-out, special thanks to our folks up north who have been kind enough to stand by while we run our net down here. We do appreciate it, guys. Take care. See everybody soon. This is W4KR. Good night.
Great net, Stan. Thank you for doing it, and everybody have a good evening. This is KM4TXQ, Dadeville, Alabama, 73s and diddly-da-dee-da.
Sam, good evening to you. Great to hear you. KN4HA.
Man, your antenna's doing fine, Bob. I'm copying you real well. It's Lake Martin from up there at Woodstock. Over.
Well, thank you, Sam. You're 20 over 9. Really, really nice signal. So I'm really glad that I got in to say howdy to you, and I certainly want to say hi to Stan. Stan, we'll see you at Lawrenceville for sure. Good evening, guys. Been a pleasure. KN4HA. Have a great day tomorrow, Sam.
Good evening.
Have a good night, Roy. I'll tell Danny I'll talk to you. He's going to be all green. Boy, Dr. John, you are just rolling in here tonight. Beautiful signal. Thank you, sir. KN4HH.